This week on TechRap, Twitter launches its music service on the web and for iPhone users. Is Nokia looking to make a phablet to challenge the Samsung Galaxy Note 2? And as promised, we go swimming with Sony's water-resistant flagship smartphone, the Xperia Z. Hi, I'm Michael Josh, and this is TechRap. And it's official. Twitter formally announces its music service that recommends tunes based on what people are tweeting about. Since we both love tweeting and listening to music, we were very excited to give it a try. Here are our initial thoughts. You can enjoy Twitter music in two ways, via an iTunes app or via the web at music.twitter.com. Now, Twitter Music helps users find trending music on Twitter using 4 categories. The first 2, popular and emerging, scans through all of Twitter, while the other 2, suggested and now playing, are based specifically on what people you follow are tweeting. If you like a song, you can listen to the entire track if you are a subscriber of music streaming services Spotify or Audio, but both services are not available in our country. If not, you can just listen to samples on iTunes, and if you like it, you can either buy it or tweet about it. Unfortunately for now, it is only available to users with accounts in the US, Canada, the UK, Ireland, Australia, and New Zealand. There's no Android app yet, but one is in the works. Is Nokia planning to take on the Samsung Galaxy Note 2? Well, the Financial Times reports that the once leading phone manufacturer in the whole world is working on a large-screen smartphone to rival the widely popular Note 2 manufactured by Samsung. The report says OS partner Microsoft is planning a Windows 8 phone update that supports 1080p displays. In an earlier episode of TechRap, we reported Nokia is also working on an upgraded version of its 808 PureView handset. If true, these rumored releases could help Nokia boost sales of its Nokia Lumia line even further. Nokia says it sold 5.6 million Lumia phones in the first quarter of 2013. That's an improvement from the 4.4 million it sold in the fourth quarter of 2012. Following the release of Facebook Home for Android, Facebook chat heads are coming to iOS. Well, sorta. This week, Facebook releases Facebook for iOS version 6.0. The update also brings stickers to the messaging platform. We told you stickers were the next big thing. Like Path, Viber, and Line before that, users get some sticker packs for free, but soon, users will also be able to buy additional sticker packs. iPad users get some minor UI enhancements as well. Our next review is long overdue, I know. If you recall, a few weeks back, I promised a review of Sony's latest flagship smartphone, the Xperia Z, but had to send it back due to water problems. So what happened? You see, one of the standout features of the Xperia Z is that it is water resistant. To be exact, Sony says to secure its IP55 and IP57 ratings, this phone has to survive being submerged in water for 30 minutes. The manual does say salt water and swimming pools are not included. Now, one day over dinner, I dipped the phone in a glass of water to show off, of course. Here's a picture of that unfortunate moment. Shortly after, the phone stopped responding, and even if I put it in a Ziploc bag with rice, which usually does the trick, I couldn't get rid of the condensation that had built in the front-facing camera and on the main camera. So I sent the phone back to Sony, and they fixed it for me. They told me water came in through the power port, signified by this red marker. Each port on the Xperia Z is locked shut by rubberized port covers. If you're going to subject the Xperia to a water test, make sure you run your fingers around the edges of your phone, maybe even 3 times over the ports that you use the most, like in my case, the power port. Having declared that, I'd still like to think that whatever happened to our test unit is an isolated case, so I gave it another shot, and despite what it says on the manual, took the phone swimming with me this week. See if it will continue working after that. Here we go. Okay. Sun's in the way, yes. It's still working. Just Paige, why don't you wave again? That's Paige, my camera woman for the day. So we're in the pool. I'm using the front-facing camera of the Sony Xperia Z to shoot this. People are swimming behind me. Take a look at some of the shots or some of the video that we shot using the Xperia Z underwater. So there you have it, the Sony Xperia Z survives the swimming test. My suggestion, don't submerge the Xperia Z in water unless you really have to. Think of it more as a safety feature in case you drop your phone in the toilet or in the sink, at least you're protected. But I'd recommend against taking it out on a water adventure. There are cases for that after all. All this aside, the Xperia Z is a great phone, probably one of the best that I've spent an adequate amount of time with. Front and center is its gorgeous 4.7-inch Full HD display. While really nice and crisp, it is a bit on the less vibrant end. Colors seem a bit washed out to me, so not just on the Samsung levels, but which tend to be extra rich and vibrant, but even when compared to the iPhone 5. But that shouldn't be too much of an issue. In fact, that really just boils down to taste. The phone build is great. The Xperia Z looks like an oversized iPhone, which is a great thing with a glass front and a glass back. The design is elegant and classy. But what I really love are the phone's rubber edges. The phone feels nice and secure in your hands, and you'll never get the feeling that it's going to fall out of your hands. Kudos to Sony for that. There are reports Sony is using Gorilla Glass in front and Dragon Trail glass on its back, but I wasn't too thrilled with the scratch resistance of the glass. I used the Sony Xperia Z as one of my two main phones and subjected it to the same wear and tear as my iPhone 5. Turn off the phones, wipe away all the smudges, and you'll notice some hairline scratches on the screen. Compare that to my iPhone 5 that's been in my pocket with keys for over 6 months, and the glass is still pristine. Because the phone runs on a 1.5 GHz quad-core processor and 2 GB of RAM, it runs fast and took everything we threw at it. Even graphics-heavy games were not laggy at all. Performance on the Xperia Z won't fail you. There were also some great software customizations that we liked. First is its power management tools. There are a couple of options for you to choose from. Stamina mode, which turns off mobile data when the screen is off. Not a good idea if you live on email or social media alerts, but it does come in handy. There is also low battery mode that can disable certain functions to extend the life of your battery. You can set it to activate when your battery hits a certain level. Finally, my favorite is location-based Wi-Fi mode, which detects if you are at a Wi-Fi hotspot that you've saved, and if that's in range, then it will switch on Wi-Fi, and only then will it switch on Wi-Fi. When you walk away from that vicinity, Wi-Fi will be turned off. We also liked Sony's UI customization of Android. There were a bit of tweaks here and there, but it wasn't in your face, which sometimes happens with some smartphone manufacturers. Finally, the phone comes with a 13-megapixel camera. We took these shots, first in broad daylight and then indoors. All of the photos turned out pretty good. Not the best we've seen and not as much as we expected from a 13-megapixel shooter. But overall, they look great and low-light performance is acceptable. All things considered, the Xperia Z is at the moment one of the top 5 smartphones in the market today. It's a pleasure to use and one that you should definitely consider. It's already on sale in the Philippines for a little over than 32,000 pesos. And that was TechRap. For the latest news updates, don't forget to follow Rappler.com on social media. And if you have any tech questions or requests about what you'd like featured on the show, send me an email, techrap@rappler.com, or a message on Twitter using the hashtag TechRap. And if you enjoy watching TechRap and are watching it on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up, press the like button, it's below. And don't forget, new episodes are released every Sunday on Rappler.com. That's all for this week, folks. I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.